Hey everyone, Dave from BC Bushcraft. Last week I did a little bit of a different video and I let my audience choose my bushcraft cutting tools for the solo overnight that I'm going to be doing. So this video I'm going to be showing you which tools won, and then also I'll be going through my entire kit, showing you what I'm going to be bringing and kind of doing a bushcraft loadout. So this time around, just to give you a brief overview of what my thoughts were behind the gear that I'm going to be bringing. I brought a little bit more comfort items, not too much more comfort items, but just some things that are going to make my stay a little bit more enjoyable. I had a pretty hard work week. I'm pretty tired and exhausted, so I'm making things a little bit easier for myself. I'm not doing some minimalist thing. I'm out there to enjoy myself this time around. So I'll bring you down to the table. I've got all my stuff laid out here. First, I'll cover the tools that you guys voted on and which ones won, and also some other things to do with the tools, and I'll explain everything when we get to it. So let's get to that. Okay, so this is everything that I'm going to be bringing with me. Let's start with the cutting tools, because previous video I had my viewers vote on which cutting tools I was going to bring. So the knife that won was the Condor Bush Lore. You can see why it's my biggest knife that I let you guys vote on, and I can understand why. Next up, my axe that you chose was the restored axe, the three pound axe in total. You can also understand why the viewers chose that. You know, I'm going to be in wet environments, probably need to process some wood up. I would have been fine with the Fiskars, probably would have struggled a little bit with the Mini Hawk, but that's a totally good option too. And you also voted for the backhoe Laplander between this and the bow saw. I can also understand that. Why I'm on a solo overnight, I don't really need to be processing up tons of wood for fire and stuff like that. So the bow saw was a little bit of overkill. Now, I won't actually be bringing the backhoe Laplander. I'll be bringing something basically identical to it, but in size and in function. And the reason why I'm not actually bringing the backhoe Laplander is because during the week, I went to a rental store and I had to rent a ladder for work it was a 14-foot orchard ladder that I needed to do for a hedge trimming job. And I saw this saw hanging there and it was $11. So I decided to pick it up to give it a try. It was made in China, you know, it's nothing special. It's just a generic saw that's Echo brand, but I highly doubt they probably just put their stamp on there, you know. But the reason why I'm bringing this is because it's sharp and it cuts better than my beat up backhoe Laplander. That's why I'm bringing this one instead of the backhoe. Working down from there, I have a cap gun for bear scare. I have a backup folding knife. I have a backup multi-tool that I can pull things out of the fire with and has a bottle opener, which I will be using. Cheap things. I have Coghlan brand's whistle with a button compass and a thermometer and another compass. I have a rag to clean my phone and my camera, and my glasses. My trusty ferro rod with the hacksaw striker, a bit of fat wood, bags for foraging if I need to, and for whatever else. Some spare batteries here. I have a pillow that's meant for a bathtub that I can blow up and have a pillow to sleep on, which will be nice instead of just using clothes, because I usually use clothes. I have a lighter. In here is some cooking stuff that I use. I got salt, pepper, brown sugar, baking soda, a head of a toothbrush, and coffee. Baking soda I use for brushing my teeth and for general hygiene. In here I have some fishing stuff. I have a few hooks and different flies, some spinners and weights. I'm going to a river. I'm not entirely sure if it's fishable, but I decided that I'll bring it, and if I can fish it, I will fish it. If I can't, then I won't fish it. Underneath I have two books. I have Bushcraft by Morris Kohansky. It's a fun book to read, and then I have my Wild Edibles plant book, ID book. Doesn't have too much stuff, but it's still useful book to have, so I'll have something to do when it gets dark at like 6 o'clock. I have a beer. Golden Drac from Belgium. It's 10.5%, so it packs a punch in a little bottle. Help me go to sleep at night. I have a hobo stove. This is like a candle. It's a wick that you light on fire. Put this thing on top, and then you put your mug on top, so you can boil up coffee and things like that. And it kind of packs down into a tight little nesting system. But this is the same size as a tuna can, or cans of that size. So this thing can go on top of any sort of can. So I might end up making my own alcohol stove or something like that to make my own little stove setup. I have a wind deflector just to help it heat up a little quicker. I have a little mug. I have this to wash my pans and stuff like that, stainless steel scrub. I have a stainless steel frying pan that I picked up at a thrift store that I'll be frying some stuff up. 2 stainless steel water bottles, 1 liter and 750 milliliters, and my cup, my mug, stainless steel mug underneath, which is 500 milliliter capacity. Spoon, fork, a little grill that I'll also test out. Just taken out of a toaster oven, I believe. Stainless steel. I'm going to be doing a hammock camp, so I have this hammock. Got this hammock off of GearBest. It's really cheap, so we'll see how it works out. With the hammock, I'm going to be using a tent fly as my tarp. It's about 8 feet by 11. I'm not entirely sure how waterproof this thing is, so if this thing fails me for the waterproof, I also have a drop sheet, which is 8 by 12. So if this thing is totally useless and I'm getting wet because it's kind of an older tent fly, then I can throw this thing on and help myself stay dry, because it should be a little bit wet when I'm out there. A pretty big bag of food and another extra thing of food. So I'm going to be doing some good cooking out there instead of just eating rice and oats. I'm bringing bear spray this time because I am going into the mountains a bit, and there have been some grizzly bears around in my area. Even though there aren't supposed to be any, there have been some showing up. I have my Scout Survival Kit, which has a bit of a fire kit in here with some fat wood and char cloth, etc., and my survival tin, drum liner in there. This is, if you want to check out the video, you can, of that guy. Flashlight, headlamp. Combined total of around $15. So I'm not bringing expensive stuff in that area. Cordage kit, paracord, jute twine, 2 bungee cords, and a couple carabiners. Toilet paper, baby wipes. This is a dry cloth from Mountain Equipment Co-op, from Mech. It's it's toweling myself down. I also have my medical kit in here, which has some pills and Band-Aids, Vaseline, duct tape, bandana, etc. Lots of stuff. Just a medical kit. I'm bringing 3 pairs of gloves. It's supposed to be wet, so these are going to be my work gloves. I have some woolies that are just for warmth at night, and then I have some leather gloves that are good for pulling things out of the fire and stuff. I don't really want to work with these ones because you get them soaking wet and they're your only pair of glove. Like, it's nice to have a little bit more in that department, so I'm bringing all of that. I have a really simple sharpening kit, which just has a diamond stone of 600 grit and a piece of a leather belt to strap on, some oil, and steel wool to take rust out. I'm only for an overnight. I don't use this. It's very rare. It's just in case something bad happens. Extra pair of socks. My toque, which I can put on at nighttime, and also I'll probably sleep in it. And this good thing about this toque is that you roll it down like this, and it covers your face entirely. So, long sleeve shirt and long johns. I also have rain gear that I use for work, which is just like The Helly Hansen stuff you get at Mark's Work Warehouse. It's nothing too special in that department. I have my Thermarest sleeping pad. I'll get to try the hammock with this sitting inside the hammock and see how that goes. I actually haven't tried any of the system out. This is the first time I'm doing it. So I'm just going to be doing everything on the fly. So we're going to see how comfortable it is with the Thermarest in there. And also, if the hammock fails completely, I have something to sleep on the ground. I will be bringing a really bulky old sleeping bag that I tried to compress down with some rope. This thing is not lightweight, but it's a sleeping bag and it will work. It's probably good till 10 degrees Celsius, but it should be around 7, and I'm going to be in the mountains, so it might be even 5. But I have a few tricks and layers of clothes that should make it okay. I don't know if I showed my fishing rod that I'll probably bring, but I don't know if I'm going to use. It's just a spinner. And the bag that I'm going to be using is, I haven't shown this one yet, but it's a Mountain Smith cross country 4000T. It's a 60-liter bag, and I've used this for backpacking and stuff. This is the bag I use for backpacking. It's a really comfortable bag. It's lots of space. 60 liters. You have this thing here you can detach and wear it as a kind of day hike bag, and you have another pouch up here on top that sits on top of your bag. And it's basically just one big compartment on the inside with 2 water bottle holders on the other side, and nice padding on the back. It gives you really good back support, really good waist straps, and it has the chest strap too, and a little bit of a whistle on it too. So I like this backpack. It's comfortable, and since I'm bringing a little bit more stuff than I usually do, it's going to be the right backpack for this type of a trip. So I'm pretty sure I covered the ins and outs of my backpack that I'm going to be bringing on my solo overnight hammock camp. It should be a pretty fun trip. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to try to do my best to relax. I'm not going to break myself out there. I had a pretty tough work week, so I kind of want to do things more on the more focus on the camp life and cooking and all that stuff. So I'll be setting up a hammock by a river up in the mountain and be using my tools and things like that. I got a few things to craft and things like that. So I'll try to release the actual solo overnight in about a week. I'll be going up there tomorrow morning. And until then, this is Dave from BC Bushcraft. Please like, please subscribe, and until the next one,